Jeez. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I am super excited to get into this today. Today, we're going to talk about letters. And not just letters, primarily lettering brushes. I'm going to go through just a few of the lettering quills that I have in my arsenal when it comes to doing all the paint jobs and the sign painting jobs that I come across, whether I'm doing doors, whether I'm doing a big sign for a mom and pop shop here in town. These are my go-to brushes. So, first on the list, this is a Hannah MAC quill, number 79. This is an extra large. I would say this would put you somewhere around probably a 6, maybe a 7 on the size scale. But this has a round ferrule. Look here where the bristles go into the ferrule. It's completely round. As I spin the brush, it does not have a break. It's solid round all the way through. And when you look at the end of the brush, the bristles stay round. Okay, now there's very good applications for this brush. You can use it to do letters. You can pretty much do anything with this brush. But the ones I prefer are these. Now this one is a MAC quill as well, but this one is all natural hair. These are hard to find in the stores that I shop at. Like I said in a previous episode, I like to go in stores where I can look at the quality of the brushes and determine whether I want to purchase them there on the spot. Now, this is all natural hair. The other one is a natural synthetic mix, along with the next few that I'm fixing to show you. This one, if you pay attention to the ferrule, it's flat on one side, and it's super narrow right there. Now what that does is when they roll these bristles and they put them inside this ferrule, they flatten this end to give you a broad, flat plane from when you're laying these letters down. Now, if you're doing big letters, big truck letters, you're going to come in here and you're going to use this Fat Daddy, 1/2 inch, 1962 MAC quill. Now, I love this brush. It's also narrow and wide. It is not round. When you lay this bad boy down, those bristles get super wide. You can cover a lot of ground really quick with this brush if you properly palette your brush. Now, we're going to lay some letters down here in just a minute. The reason why I brought you in here today is if you are in to where you're wanting to learn how to do letters, you do not have to go out and spend $35 or $40. You don't have to spend $60 to $100 on a set of brushes if you want to learn and get started. Now, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but I'm going to tell you, when I first started to learn how to letter, I didn't have all these fancy brushes. I've told you that in the past. This brush set I bought at the Dollar Tree not too long ago. Not because I was trying to be cheap. It was just simple fact that I needed some small natural hair brushes that I could use for some of my fine art stuff that I've been working on. I've used a few of these already, but look here. Some of the smaller brushes are not necessarily, I mean, come on. You can look at that. That's not super desirable. I mean, they're super stiff. They're not fluid. That's going to be hard pressed to do any kind of letters. But if you're doing any fill-in work, they're perfect. I mean, like I said, if you're just working on a project of your own, they're perfect. I mean, look here. There's one little hair sticking up. Clip that bad boy off. Look here. It's gone, like it never happened. So take this brush. You can use these for filling in. I do these on a lot of wooden sign projects that I do. If I can't get inside of a corner, I'll just come in. These things, it was $1.25 is what I gave for that brush set. I can cut these down, use them for a specific job, clean them, put them back up, and then I can run back down there the next day and get me a whole new set if I want to. But like I said, these are not for doing big jobs. Those higher end brushes is what I primarily use when I go do these real nice jobs. They leave a much better pattern for those letters. All right. These brushes here, 87 cents. These are just itty bitty detail brushes. Like I said, if you're doing artwork for yourself or you're just trying to paint up a little sign, don't go out and buy all these expensive stuff. Get you a can of $5 Rust-Oleum paint, get you some mineral spirits. You can come in here and for 87 cents, you can get you a small detail brush set, all purpose, oil base, watercolor, acrylics, it doesn't matter. Now, the same set of brushes, except you paying attention to these ferrules here. You've got round, and then you've got the ones that's been mashed up here that's narrow and wide. Now those will do a letter, and I'm fixing to show you. Fine touch, all purpose, oil, watercolor, and acrylic. Paid $1.74 for these. I'm gonna figure out how to get these things open. All right. This is why I wanted to bring you in. This right here is a $35 brush all day long, 1962 half-inch lettering quill. Look at there. The only difference is this is full synthetic, this is a mixture. Okay, now that is going to play a role when it comes to laying down the paint. These are a little stiffer and these are super soft. But over time, using these brushes, oiling them properly, and knowing how to take care of these brushes, you can still do good work with them. And I'm going to prove it to you right now. Let's palette out some black. I'm going to bring you in here where you can see a little bit better. I'm going to go straight in with this brush. Remember what I said, $1.74 for this fine touch brush. We're going to go straight into the lacquer thinner, just like always. Clean all that bad out of that brush. Go straight into the mineral spirits. We're going to take us a rag. Old wash rag be just fine, as long as the wife don't see you taking them. All right. We're going to come in here. We'll get us a little bit of black. Load that brush up good. Push it up into that ferrule. When you come in here, just find a place where you want to lay that down. Look how sharp that made that. Super sharp. Let's get a little bit more paint on there. On this A, we're going to come up at the top, slide over, and then come straight down. Keep that center line the same all the way through. Now we're going to move into a difficult one. S's have always been a little difficult for me. Let's see here. S's have always been a little difficult for me. Let's start there. Okay. Come down here, we'll make the bottom of the S. I had a little drip there. Oh, look there. See how easy that was? And that's just using an old cheap brush. Heck, buy you some cardboard, buy you some cheap paint, a couple of these old cheap brushes, and the next time you have a yard sale, make a yard sale sign. I mean, this is all about having fun, learning something new. Play around with it. It ain't got to be perfect. Just play. Because the more you play, the more you see what you can do with it. And if you mess up, don't be so hard on yourself. It all comes in good time. Now, you saw how that brush did, right? Okay, let's come in here and let's take that 1962, that high-end dollar one. Let's clean the oil out of it. We're going to take our wash rag from the bathroom and we're going to clean that rascal out. Go straight into the lacquer thinner. Remember, not too much. Just try to get the oil out of it. That's all you're doing. They also make this brush in the smaller sizes. Like I've got a 1/4 inch that is right here that I've had oiled up. I just used it on another project the other day. Fantastic brush. I mean, this thing will fly. So all these brushes can be found at Plaza Art Supply, downtown Nashville. They are amazing people to work with. If they don't have it, they'll find it for you. They've always took good care of me. So just to show you the difference in these brushes, I'm going to palette this out. I'm going to fill these bristles full of black. And then we're going to come in here and we're going to do some lettering right underneath where we used the cheap brushes. Look yonder, got that big old fat 1/2 inch brush loaded up. We're going to come right on in here. got that real sharp tip on it. Utilize that. Get down in, you're going to come up there into that corner and then come straight down. We'll go back in here with our A. Got that paint a little wet. That's all right. It ain't about being pretty today. We just out here playing. All right, we're going to come in here with this S. I'm going to do the rounded part first because that's always the most difficult for me. Down here in the bottom. Remember, keep everything consistent as possible. All right. Now that is both brushes. And you can't tell much difference between the two, now can you? It all goes into paletting and brush control. Always make sure that when you start out painting with any kind of brush, don't get your paint too wet, because if it's too thin, it's just going to run all over the place. Show you a little example. If you dabble out a whole bunch of the old black, and you get too much reducer in there, let's say you're going to try to do a C. Come in there. Make it a G. How about that? Let's say you do that. Look here. Look what you got. She's going to run all over the place. So take the time. Come down here. Get your black. And you palette this brush until you start feeling a drag. You start feeling that paint trying to fight against you. If it stops, then it's too dry. Now you come back in here with a perfectly pallid brush. It flows good. And it doesn't run on you. Now I know you want to get into lettering or you want to get into pinstriping, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go out and buy all this expensive stuff. You can get by. Once you save up a little bit of money, then you go buy some better quality brushes, some better quality paint, and just start practicing. You never know. Oil base might be your thing. Urethane might be your thing. You might be able to utilize both mediums for some of the projects you got at home. Maybe you know how to paint, but you've always wanted to learn how to pinstripe, to put letters or lines on your bike. Maybe you're doing all this at home because you can't afford to have anybody else do it. Trust me, I get it. That's why your boy does it. I love this stuff. I love art in any kind of fashion. And if I can somehow give you a tip to get started that doesn't break the pocketbook, I'm going to tell you. If you've got any comments, if you got any questions, let me know down in the comments below. I'll do my best to try to help you out. I'll try to tell you where you can go, where you can order them online. I have my preferences about certain brushes that you can buy online that you're going to waste your money, in my opinion. Some people have started off with some cheaper brushes that they can buy online, and they've made out pretty good. But I have found in the past that there are certain brands that I will not purchase online, just for the sheer fact that they've let me down. And it just goes to show that a man can go down to the local dollar store or the local Dollar Tree or Hobby Lobby and buy a cheap set of brushes and have a decent outcome. It all comes down to brush control. If you can control this at $1.74, when you can afford to buy this bad boy, you're going to be doing something. You're going to be, you'll be in a completely different world, and everything will flow a whole lot easier. Because I'm telling you, it's much, much harder to pinstripe or letter with junk brushes. Once you start getting good quality stuff, you'll start seeing that. All right, now it's coming together. It's all coming together. So, right, wrong, or indifferent, just giving you a piece of advice from an old boy that's been there. I appreciate you guys showing up today. I've had a lot of fun doing this. I hope I've helped you if you're trying to get into this hobby or this line of business. Like I said, if you got any questions, holler at me below. I'll get back with you. I love y'all. I'll see you next time.